Hello and welcome, Nancy. Thanks for joining me today to have a little chat on the crew.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Tiffany.
I'm excited. Nancy and I met. I got to think about how we actually got connected, but Nancy, she has a record with me. She's the all-time most well-attended Pickle into Power. If you're not playing Pickle with us, Nancy's been at Pickle into Power, I think, every time we've had it. And she has the long-standing record. But when we got to know each other, how did we connect, Nancy? Do you remember
It,
originally? Oh, through
it
Meg.
was,
Through Meg's.
yeah, Meg's, that was how I learned about the pickle into power was through Meg's Pulvermacher, who's awesome. So, and then,
Got it.
yeah, and then we started chatting at the event.
So Nancy is a wardrobe consultant, but I feel like way more than that, and I will let her introduce herself. But I brought Nancy into my event a couple weeks ago as a sponsor because, and I wanted her to dress me as an example of how it works. And then I also just wanted that message. I wanted your message to be in the room with us, and so it was. And so looking forward to you just introducing yourself to the group. So we're live inside the crew, which is a collection of awesome women from all over the place. And would love for you to just introduce what you do and why it matters. And then we're going to talk about it. Let's go.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me.
Yes.
So my business is Nancy Dills Wardrobe Consulting. I started my business 10 years ago after having a first career in the environmental field. And the reason that it's a big shift, but in some ways not, because I do practice sustainability in my business by helping people build sustainable wardrobes. But the impetus for me starting my business was because I had negative body image, really negative body image. Like I hated my body for as long as I can remember, even when I was a small child, even before puberty. Which is kind of incredible, but I was really shy when I was little, but I also just wanted to hide. And some of that had a lot to do with the messages that I received growing up. And I deeply internalized them. And I had a daughter when I was 36 years old. And I realized that when she was a toddler, I realized she was watching everything I was doing, and it didn't really matter what I said. It was my actions. And I realized I needed to make changes around my feelings around my own body, or I was going to model that for her. And I did not want her to have the same feelings about her body that I did about mine. And so as I started to do that work, clothes played a really important role in me embracing positive body image. And I experienced a transformation for myself. And that was the impetus for me starting my business, was because I wanted others to experience the power of clothing and to share that your body does not have to change for you to feel better about yourself. And when you feel better about yourself, we all know confidence is internal. And then when you are feeling good, that just snowballs into everything. And your clothes can be a super powerful tool in helping that to happen. And it's also a very tangible tool. And so that's why I started it. And when I landed on the sustainability piece of finding a way to do this work without, promoting rampant consumerism by taking my clients to the Mall of America every week, I don't love the Mall of America. I'll just be honest. I tell everybody that I hate it, but I do when I help my clients, I help them by making the wardrobe that they already own as effective as possible. And then when I shop with them, we shop at consignment stores. So it's high quality resale clothing. And it's amazing what you can find, as you know, Tiffany, when we work together.
Yes. So what do you typically, so when somebody calls you and says, I want to do this work, what do you notice? Like, are there themes or threads, or just, you've done this for long enough? Like,
yeah.
What do you feel like is like the current state of women in their bodies right now?
So I will tell you that I've been at this for 10 years. I've worked with hundreds of women, and there have maybe been, there are less than 5 women who have actually been satisfied with their bodies.
Mm.
out of hundreds of women. And it does not matter what size they are, how much they weigh, how old they are, what their body types are, anything. Every woman is focused on their flaws or what
Mm.
their perceived flaws are, because that's what we're enculturated to do, is to try to meet a norm that's actually not attainable because of Photoshop and editing and now all the filters on the apps and all the things. It's actually not reality that women are trying to aspire to. And again, it doesn't really matter who the person is. We are focused to look at our flaws and think that we need to be a certain way to be considered beautiful. And
Mm.
it really holds us back. It really, it helps, it keeps us from fully flourishing. It can keep us from, you know, moving into leadership comfortably.
Mm.
It can keep us from, it's basically an act of diminishment.
Mm.
And I see it across the board. And that's one of the things that's kind of what my why is my mission is to really help women to see how beautiful they are just as themselves. And I actually work with all genders and identities, and I believe that for everybody. I do primarily work with women, and I think we are especially taught to just feel like there's something wrong with us.
Mm.
And so many, when I'm working with women, they immediately look at a specific body part when they're looking at themselves in the mirror, and whatever body part it is that they like the least about themselves is what they always look at first.
Mm.
And so I have a mantra that I'm often saying to clients is to look at the whole,
Mm.
because when you are able to see the whole and look at your whole body in the clothes that you are wearing, that can give you an entirely different perspective.
Mm.
And that's what I'm looking at when I'm helping people to dress, is to find that balance of lines literally on their bodies that looks amazing. And you can accomplish that no matter what your body type is.
I think that's what was so surprising for me is like we pulled stuff off the shelf that I don't think I would have selected because I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I would never, I just, yeah, it was I would never wear that, or I would just never pull that even to try it on.
Right.
So I think the opportunity to just see yourself in something maybe that you thought, oh, that would never work for me, or you have all these beliefs about it. I loved challenging some of that, whatever we
Yes.
already decided. It's like, well, put that aside. There might be
Yeah.
other.
Let's try this.
Yeah.
Yes, I always tell my clients to just try it. If you hate it after you try it, then I'm not going to make you buy it. But I want you to just try it.
Yes.
And oftentimes those end up being the favorites because they had no idea what it would look like.
The other thing you teed off right when we got started is that depending on the designer and whatever, the sizing, like basically it was like the instant invitation to let go of the size. It's
Yes.
like because of all can you just speak about size? Because I think that's always been such a, for women.
Yes. I think we do get very attached to the numbers and letters on the tag, because it's, especially, if you go up a letter or number, then you're terrible. And sizing is not standardized in the fashion industry. And so that's what I do. I ask my clients we always look at least 3 different sizes. I ask what their starting range is. And then we always look above and below. And sometimes it's 2 or 3 sizes above or below. And I ask people to it does not matter what the number or letter is, because it's not standardized. I literally have 4 different sizes in my closet, and they all fit the same way. They fit my body because they are not standardized. And so I have extra, I wear size 12 is my starting point. I have extra small things in my closet because they are not, they're not sized. It's an oversized garment, but they're not sized in the way that you would expect. But I'm also happy to go up higher if I need to, because it just is about fit, because when you find good fit for your body, that is what looks amazing. If you have something that's either too tight, yes, obviously that's very noticeable if something is fabric is spanning on your body, but the same thing happens when something is too big. If something is too big, it actually swallows the lines of your body, and that doesn't look good either. That actually takes away from the balance of the outfit. And I'm not, I'm not in the business of trying to make women look smaller. Like, that's not, it's all about balance. But wearing something that's way too big for you actually does make you look bigger because you can't see where you are. And so it's all about finding that sweet spot of things that skim the lines of your body, and where we're always looking for vertical flow of an outfit, because when things sort of hit at the wrong spot on your body, that can look off and sort of throw off the lines. And so that's what I teach my clients, is to recognize when something is hitting them in the right place or when it's not, what good fit looks like and feels like, so that then when they go forward, they can have success with buying their clothes.
I love that. I love it.
Yeah.
It just feels like such a mountain to climb to help women actually let go of some of the negative thoughts, the judgments, the expectations. Like, it just feels like a mountain. So how did you overcome that mountain? I mean, you were on it. Like, what do you feel like, even if it's one small thing, if we don't feel like we can get over that mountain instantly, like, what is something that really made a difference in your own mindset?
Well, first I will say I am still on that mountain, and I always will be. It's a journey. It is not a finished journey. It's a lifelong journey. So hilariously, I don't know if you remember, we're about the same age, so you might remember What Not to Wear, that with Stacey London and Clinton Kelly. I was just watching that show for entertainment, when my daughter was a baby, but there was something about Stacey London that resonated with me, and it was clear that she really cared about the well-being of her clients. All the reality show crap aside, it was clear that she cared about them, and that just resonated with me. So that's what started me on this, was trying the rules from What Not to Wear. And it actually worked. I actually started to feel better because my clothes fit me better. I had used to wear clothes really oversized because I wanted to disappear. And so my clothes started, I was buying things that fit me better. I was paying attention to balance of lines. And without knowing any of that, I realized later that what I experienced was something called enclothed cognition. It's actually a psychological term that was coined by a psychologist at Stanford University in 2012. And they learned through studies that what you wear actually impacts your brain chemistry and can impact your overall sense of well-being.
Wow.
And that is what I experienced as I started to see what my body could look like without losing a single pound in clothes. It helped me to start to shift my belief around my body, that I'm not ugly. I don't have to hide. I don't have to disappear in my clothes because I'm actually not, I'm attractive. And it took years, but it was something that allowed me to start to make those shifts in my thinking. And that's what I am helping my clients to do. It's a running conversation about that, about using your clothes, intentionally. I say dressing with intention all the time, because you are putting yourself in the driver's seat when you do that. You are, even if you're putting on, just your workout gear, if you are intentional about it, you are in the driver's seat and you are determining, how am I going to feel in my clothes today? And when I'm having a really bad day, I actually get more dressed up on those days because it can actually shift my feelings a little bit. You just do feel better. Wow. It's not going to cure depression. It might help a little bit, but obviously it's not going to just, you put on a different outfit and you're all good, but it really can shift your thinking. And some days I have bad days. I still have them, but I have so much more perspective on them now that I don't go down that deep well of shame that I used to live in.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So I just want to just really hear what you just said. So when we learn to outfit ourselves from the outside in, which I do a lot of work inside out, but
Yes.
It's almost like if you can do the outside in work, that then informs the inside out work.
100%.
The feeling like it true, like when you have your, and I think COVID put the hurt on us because
oh yeah,
we were in sweats and, eating cookies all day. And it's like, I think that just hurt in a lot of different ways. I think too, and you can tell me if this is true or not, but I think when you get yourself together, you actually eat better. Am I making that up?
Yes, I think it snowballs into everything. It's just, it's kind of, it's amazing. This is like the best hands down part of my job that I've ever had. It's happened several times, just like the pinnacle has happened, where a woman who I know just really, really struggling with how she perceived herself. And we dress her and she looks in the mirror and literally gasps with excitement, at literally out loud gasps. Like, to hear a middle-aged woman gasp out loud at the sight of herself is like, okay, this is why I'm doing this work. I mean, it's like, it makes me misty a little bit, because it's just like to have a woman acknowledge her beauty that way is just, that's what it's all about. And I got all excited about that, so I forgot what you were.
So we were just talking
asking,
about getting yourself together, like, if
yes,
you actually are ready for the day, as opposed to sweat. Like, if I'm in a sweatshirt and sweats and don't have makeup on and my hair is in a messy bun, like, I feel like I just don't tend to myself as well. I don't know if it's real or not.
That's absolutely true. And I also, so sometimes, like, women will come to me sometimes because they're wanting to advance in leadership, or they've gotten a leadership role and they're like, holy crap, what do I do? Sorry, I sometimes can swear. I think you might be a swearing kind of person too. But they're like, I have all this expertise, but I want others to see it. And, and often, especially women in male dominated fields, it's like they feel like they almost, it's like imposter syndrome is at play, even though they have all these amazing accomplishments. Mm-hmm. And so so what I talk about is, you practice with your clothes. And if something feels really, you're not used to it at all, you're not an imposter by wearing something you're not used to. If you're doing it intentionally and you're saying, I'm wearing this because I'm doing it to meet my goal. And if it's really something different for you, practice wearing it just a couple of hours, when you are, you're at home or whatever, so you don't feel so uncomfortable when you can't change, or when you're, in public, or when the stakes are higher. And the more you do it, it's almost like cognitive behavior therapy. The more you practice it, the easier it is to do, and the more impact it can have, because it becomes habitualized. Wow. Or habituated, whatever the word is.
So yeah. I also feel like, if you could just comment on this, I feel like women we're in this, I have to diet, I have all these clothes, and I used to wear them when I was 10 pounds, 20 pounds lighter, and they're still in there. And I mean, can you just get into that noise for a second? I think that dominates a lot of mindset and just overwhelm.
Yes. So the average American person only wears about 20% of what's in their wardrobe. So don't feel like you're the only one. If, people who are listening feel like their closets are a disaster and it's only them. Most people only wear 20%. And that's because we are, either impulse purchases, or you've gained weight and you feel like, I want to lose, I'll keeping these so that until I lose weight again. Or I can't buy any new clothes until I lose weight. Those kinds of things. That is operating in a mindset of shame. And if you because you're denying yourself comfort and joy in in your appearance and feeling good and all of those things by holding on to those things. So not only are they a physical burden in your closet, they can become a huge emotional burden as well.
Mm,
And getting rid of that is so freeing. And that's one of the things that I help clients do is in that making your existing wardrobe more functional. Oftentimes that is purging things that aren't working for whatever reason. And honestly, if you did lose weight, you know, oftentimes those clothes are from a different chapter in your life and you're not going to wear them again anyway. You're going to want different things. And so it can actually, by dressing yourself with care, I talk about women who are on a weight loss journey for their health, because sometimes,
yeah, yeah.
losing weight just because you think you're going to look better, that's not a reason to lose weight. If you need to address health things, that's a reason to lose weight. And, but women who are on a weight loss journey, feeling good while you're doing it makes it easier to do. And
Got
that you are feeling, look at me, I look fantastic, I can keep going. And
it.
acknowledging it's acknowledging the progress that you're making, to
Mm,
not wait to buy clothes for yourself.
mm.
And consignment shopping is much more affordable than retail, and so that is an amazing way to to, if you are in a journey with your body, an amazing way to help that along without spending thousands of dollars on clothes.
So before we wrap, will you talk about what the process is for engaging you? So is it a one-time shopping thing? Is it you go to their house? Can you just talk about like how does that set up? And what does that support look like?
So I offer a complimentary initial consult. It's on Zoom, where we talk about your goals for your wardrobe, and then about my services to determine what is the best course of action for you. And I offer everything from, we can do just a wardrobe consult where we look at your existing wardrobe. That's typically 3 hours, depending on what size your wardrobe is. If it's larger, then it will likely take more than 3 hours. And then I also offer personal shopping by the hour. And then I also offer signature style packages, which are combining services at various levels. And those are at a reduced rate to my hourly rate. And the service packages range from doing the wardrobe consult in 1 3-hour personal shopping session, all the way up to working together for a year. I have 3-year-long packages, which are at different tiers of how in depth we work, where we're really, we have the gift of time to be able to really make the changes that you want with your wardrobe, and across all the seasons, especially in Minnesota. It's like, it gives us the ability to address everything in your wardrobe and make the changes that you want to make, and really be empowered by your clothes, so that you don't have to be frustrated by your clothes all the time. What you're doing is you're showing up, feeling great, and then just living your life without having to think about that, knowing that you look good, and you're feeling confident. And that's amazing. Just think of the energy that you save when you feel that way.
Yes. And I think that for me, I care so much about women being in their power. I
Yeah,
just feel like that outer layer helps the inner layer and helps build that power. So
it really does.
I love what
Yeah.
you do. And I appreciate that, especially, I mean, it pains me, the whole body image thing. We've all been there. We all, work on that all the time. I
Yeah.
wish it was different. It's just a reality of
Yep.
social media and just what we've done in this, this lifetime. But
Yes.
we can heal, and the work that you bring the world can help with that. So I love that.
Thank you.
So do
Back
people
at
go to
you.
nancydilts.com, or how do they reach
Yeah.
out if they want to schedule their time?
Yep. So my website is nancydilts.com. And I also am on the socials. So LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram. You can find me there and check out. And I'll just say I'm a pretty down to earth person. I pay attention to fashion. I know what the trends are and everything, but that's not really what it's about for me. It's about feeling really good and feeling authentic. And so I'm not going to push things on you that aren't right for you. And I'm also, it's like, I will be your greatest cheerleader. That's, it's just like, I really, that's what it's all about for me, is the relationship and helping you to shine as your best self. And so I'm not, I'm not going to, I don't want anyone to ever think that they're going to get pushed into something that they aren't, because it's about finding your amazing individual unique self and letting it shine.
I felt like, you connected to, you said to me multiple times, that just is not on brand for you, which I appreciated. It's like, because people do have a certain way of being or a style or, a thing. And I just appreciated the connection to that too. It's like, we can't leave my, existingness on the side.
Yeah.
Bring that with. Yeah.
Well, that's where, that's what your magic is being you. And that's what I hope for everybody is that. Yeah. So
gets us into the power. I love it. Thank you, Nancy, for this conversation. Always, I could sit here all day and just learn because it's so interesting to me. But check out Nancy, get over to her site, set up your own time and your own shopping moment. I loved it. It was so fun. So I couldn't recommend it enough.
Thanks, Tiffany.
Thanks, Nancy. See ya.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.